Hey, Blue Table fans, it's time to do a War Machine bat rep. Yes, you've waited, and now your long wait is over. I'm here with Rob. Rob is a world champion War Machine player, so it is time for me to bring my A game and show him what it's like.
Not true at all. But
Yeah, actually, Rob's a complete novice.
This is like my second game with my army.
That's great.
But world champion in 2 games. If
Yeah.
the world is this board.
If the world, yes, yes, let's make this the world. And then, so he's the champion of this particular board. He's undefeated. Undefeated world champion. See?
On this board.
How we, yep. All right, so we're playing 25 points. I talked Rob up from 15 points, because you really don't get a good feel for the game if it's too low of a point cost, you know. Because there's really no synergy that comes into play. I'd recommend 35 or 50 for War Machine, definitely. So let's take a look at Circle of Orboros. These are not the traditional models. These are by Rackham, which is a defunct French company, and it takes quite a bit to find these figures, and I love them, and I just am very proud of how this army turned out. The Studio Orboros army is about 100 points, I'm going to say. So we have a Warp Wolf Alpha, what's called Pureblood Warwolf, that's the one. And we have a Warp Wolf Stalker. I think that's a really good model for that. We've got Kaya and Laris. These are the only 2 models that are from the Privateer Press line in here. We have a Druid Wilder, which is a Celt Fianna standard bearer model. And here we have 6 druids, which is leader and 5 grunts. Here's your leader. This is actually a bit of a conversion. She's got some non-standard weaponry. As you can see, all the bases have slating and are done up quite nicely with some clump foliage there. So those are my points. The points are 9, 10, -3, 2, and 7, which, if I did my math right, is 25 points. All right, so I've deployed. This is my deployment. I've got my druids on one side, my 2 heavies kind of in the middle, Kaya hiding out behind, and Laris flanking on the side. The Druid Wilder up close there to keep up with the 2 guys, the heavy war beasts. Over here we've got some House Shail riflemen, 2 units, or just 1 giant unit of 12?
One unit of 12.
1 unit of 12. That is shred-tastic. And those guys are going to project a pretty hefty threat range with, if I recall correctly, a move of 5 and a range of 10.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
So that means just on the first turn, their threat range is all the way up here. So pretty soon in the game, these guys could have a commanding sort of coverage here. And I'm lightly armored, so I can't stand that. And so, my druids definitely cannot go toe-to-toe with that entire unit. We've got a Griffin, which is a light, independently moving warjack, pretty good in close combat. The dreaded Phoenix, which can send out an absolutely devastating pulse, which can kill masses of infantry, and definitely a heavy hitter. Also an arc node, and the Chimera, which has a neat little turn teleportation ability called Apparition, last time I knew, and also an arc node. And you're running who, Kaelissa? Mm-hmm. Okay, now that's a little weird, because normally you'd see Adeptus Ron with that particular loadout of warjacks. So I don't know what Rob is up to. Oh yeah, he's playing, what he's up to is he's playing what came in the box. So I'm looking for a fun game. I definitely, at first I was like, well, I got to avoid these guys, right, and kind of punish this side of the board. But now, looking at what I have, I actually think I'd be better off veering off against the warjacks. So we're off to turn 1. All right, and away we go. I'm going to activate let's do Laris first, and he has a move of 7, and I'm going to jet him quite a ways out to the flank, just like that. And I'm definitely safe at this point in time. She has alpha, so she doesn't have to force her war beasts to run. So I am going to run this guy there. And I'm going to, let's see, got to make sure it's within 12. Oh yeah, I'm back to Warhammer Fantasy. So I got to be careful not to do pre-measuring. It's going to move the stalker out. I'm going to activate Kaya. She is going to move 6 and use a 6-inch range forced evolution. So that gives him bonuses to strength and something else I can't remember. And I'm also going to spend 3 to do Shadow Pack. That gives everyone in her battle group stealth. So that means you can't be shot within a certain range. So actually, now that I think about it, it would have been better to head off with the war beast and punish the riflemen. But I've already moved, so oh well for me. And I'm going to go ahead and move the Druid Wilder. If you'll go ahead and stop. All right, I moved the Wilder, and I'm going to cast use what's it called? Spirit something? Hold on, Druid Wilder. Spirit Tap. Immediately cast the animus of a friendly faction war beast within its command range as a spell. So I'm going to target him and cast Lightning Strike. Lightning Strike gives him, hold on. Lightning Strike gives him sprint for 1 turn. So basically I'll activate him first before her, so he'll still have it on him. And at the end of this activation, if a model with sprint destroyed 1 or more enemy models with melee attacks, it can make a full advance. So it can run up, kill something, and then move back. So there's that. And lastly, I'm going to activate the Druids. The Druids have a slightly, no, they have speed 6 as well. And I'm just going to run those bad girls right on up like this. And I'm going to go ahead and just bunch them together. I don't know, in fact, I can probably not do that. Okay, that's my turn. Plain and simple. Basically, I just moved off to one flank, and hopefully I can do something appreciable against this part of the army while the riflemen are still moving up into position.
Okay.
Or I'll completely hose myself and get crushed against the side of the board. All right, so I'm advising Rob here, and so here's the deal. The pureblood can do something called ghostly, which means he can pass through obstacles in a charge. And she can do something called dogpile, which gets rid of the need for line of sight as well. So the trick that I'm going to do here is if he moves one of his warjacks foolishly too close, I'm going to move Kaya up, cast dogpile, fly out through the building, absolutely pound that heavy warjack, and then I will have activated her feet. And so that's how this army, which is pretty light. I mean, I'm pretty chewy in the center. I take the Phoenix out of the equation. I knock out 10 of the 25 points that you have, using her feet to do it. But by then I'm unharmed, and now I just have that advantage. So. Basically, the way I think you can win this is to don't separate your forces. Bring them together, mind my ranges, because there's no pre-measure in this game. But you've got a good grip on what's 14 inches. So my threat range is something, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's something like 16 inches with these guys. At least 13, right? So you've got, it's 6 plus 3 for the charge is 9. Plus you get an extra 2 inches is 11, and then the stalker has a 2-inch reach, so that's 13. Yeah, so it is. It's not 16. So anyway, what your best bet, oddly, is to use this first turn to consolidate your forces, because then it's much harder for me to pick off stragglers.
Right. Okay, perfect.
So basically, don't do it. You don't always have to do something spectacular. Sometimes your best move is, like I explained in the Ogres versus Skaven game, is look at your opponent's ranged abilities, and if you can outrange him, then sit back and shoot. Don't move up. Consider all possibilities. See, now you're doing the opposite. You just moved them off to the side.
Can you
When
do
you
that
can,
with
you
his
can. No,
ability?
no, it's legal.
Do you
You can only move
ignore-
2 inches. No, well, yeah, you'd be
gotta-
kind
you
of
gotta
in
move.
it. I don't mind that though, but see, you're moving that guy like off. Well, where's everything else going to go?
Trying to decide.
Because I'm going to pick things off in your army with Lightning Strike and with Kaya's feet.
Which you can only do
I'm
one
going
turn,
to.
right? And you only
Well, the
can
feet
dogpile
is only
guy.
one time, yeah, but everything else can be done multiple times.
Okay.
Like this stalker, he can by himself potentially take out a heavy warjack if he's ramped up.
And he is a heavy.
With force, yeah, he's a heavy. So with forced evolution and the other things you can put on him, he's a beast. I can definitely kill one of those light warjacks. Them's easy pickings. So, and that's how it works. I get whichever one of these guys needs to do the dirty deed, I put lightning strike on those guys.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So you may continue. So really, do whatever you want, but your best bet, the thing I'm hoping you don't do, is basically consolidate your forces and move in one giant Starcraftian chunk.
I'm just trying to keep track of my turn order, so.
I
right
know.
now,
You're
This is control
assigning
phase, right?
focus.
So I
Right.
assign my focus and do anything in the control phase, right?
That's right.
Okay. So
Well,
we're
and
on
you
the
really
same
won't
page.
have that much. You got to remember, if you want to run your warjacks, that's
Yes,
kind of where
ma'am.
you just give them one.
And you spend focus.
Right.
to do that. So-
And you have to look at the reach of the Phoenix's ranged attacks.
Yeah.
What is the range on his thing? The Halo cannon or whatever it is?
It's 10.
Okay,
he's
so
got a
he can
16 inch
move.
threat range.
Right. So right now you don't have that.
And you can't run and shoot, right?
No, you can't.
You can only run or shoot.
That is correct.
Okay.
All right. Let's see we'll see what Rob does. Check it out. I'm happy like a little kid. This big old bowl of generic Captain Crunch. Hey, all right. Yep. Cue the comments about me eating on camera, unless I forget. All right, go. All right. So now this is, if you do like a little overview here, this is interesting. This is still about 20 inches distant. So my inclination is to move my guys around this way, kind of sweep around the side, and just hope I have a turn or two before the riflemen come into play. Now, the foolish thing to do, I think, would be to try and move back this way. Because then I really won't be able to discombobulate this horde. Horde. 25-point game is a horde. All right, so she's going to leech Fury, 6 Fury. Now for maintaining spells, I'm going to spend 1 to maintain the evolution on that guy, and another 1 to maintain the stealth ability, Shadow Pack, I do believe that's called. So I'm going to go ahead and call this guy's bluff here. Now look at the Phoenix. The threat range on the Phoenix is something like 16 inches. So actually, that's getting pretty close there. So where do I want to be? How far away? Yeah, so I don't want to move all the way up here. Because, of course, the Phoenix's shooting ability really isn't that great. So I'm going to go ahead and tempt fate. And I'm just going to fly like this. I'm going to activate the Wilder, put Lightning Strike back on that guy. Move the Wilder up like this. So she's kind of out of, range there. The pack has gotten way ahead of her. So go ahead and move Kaya up like this. Get her 6 inches up, just around the corner of the building, like this.
And what's her command range?
Command range or the.
I don't know how it works with hordes. They have
Focus.
a.
It's her command is 8,
Okay.
but that's only for like leadership tests and stuff like that. The actual thing is 12 inches.
Just like in Warhammer.
So yeah, I'd have to be careful. See, there you go. By the way, that was illegal what I just did there. And I'm gonna move Laris up and just say, come and get me, chums. I'm ready. Laris is a light war beast, by the way. So there we go. Gonna move him back maybe just a tad. That's a fudge, by the way. And activate her. God, do I have any spells even? Force Muzzle. Nope. She only has 3 spells: Dogpile, Forced Evolution, and Shadow Pack. So really, oh, and here comes another fudge. I'm gonna force rile these guys and just leave 4 on her. She's got nothing to do with it. Absolutely fantastic. The Wilders, really their best bet is to run and just kind of stay with the group. So I'm just gonna run them 12, and they will end up looking something like this. Let me make sure I'm not moving those no, definitely. If anything, I'm not moving far enough. That's all I got. It's your turn.
Okay.
Pass it to my opponent, and I'm gonna see what he does. Because now I've kind of laid out the bait there, and we'll see if he gets close. But quite frankly, the problem is, I think it's close. I think he can shoot me. He definitely can't charge me at this range, right? So if he shoots me, I'll just have to take it. And then next turn is when I'll start my shenanigans of teleporting around and like moving things. So now is basically Rob's chance to actually do something against me. I think moving these guys behind this building is good. Effectively, I've created like, here's a big old obstruction for these rifles. Like they're definitely out of it this turn. So the question is, what's Rob gonna do about it? Which is the question that I've put forth. The Griffin has no ranged attacks, and he's out of charge range, so he's out of the game, unless there's some kind of spell. Again, the big, what I really should be doing is I should pull my Retribution book, and while he's thinking about his turn, I should be furiously reading up on his units. That's the smart thing to do. Don't make it obvious. Just be casual. Just kind of lean back. Maybe put their book into your book so they're not like on high alert. All right, shenanigans like that. So, but here's the 2 players, is this turn. So it's like, okay, Mage Assassin, are you going to do nothing and just get killed by Laris this turn? Because you notice I turned his arc so that it clips the edge of the board here. So basically, there's nowhere for her to run. And Laris has a pretty hefty threat range. It's 7 base plus 2 for charge. Well, yeah, it's not hefty. It's only 10. But as base charge ranges go, 7-inch movement is pretty respectable. So either the Mage Hunter is going to have to retreat, or actually come out and do something. So pick one. And yeah, I guess that's about it. Okay. I'm gonna keep narrating while you do your thing. Okay. So here's the deal.
Actually gonna let that.
I have some tips you might.
Rob may or may not want to. By the way, this is magnetized. Check it. Isn't that neat? Great feature of what we do here. So Rob may or may not want to maintain his spell.
I don't think I'm going to, because anything I would charge, I already have line of sight to, and I
Right.
don't need to charge with these guys, so we're gonna let it drop.
Right, so now it's time to allocate focus, so we'll need to put it on, and this is the part where Rob needs to decide if he's going to do something about it. Did it die?
No, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of what I would be doing here right now.
Okay, but commits. Yeah, this is no. On camera. Here, I'll take it.
Okay, I'll take it.
So,
All right,
I can make a
Dr.
suggestion.
Brett.
You had, what was that, Shadow Hunter on?
No, Phantom.
Phantom Hunter, whatever. Because you could probably move him, has what, 6 inches?
Yep.
You could probably move him up and take a shot at his Warlock.
But it's only for charge attacks.
Oh, it's just for charge
I
attacks?
believe so,
I
yeah.
thought it was for any ranged attack.
If it's for, no, the spell?
I'm shooting.
I
Oh,
would.
so doesn't ignore.
I would.
And that's the other thing is my guys have stealth on them, so
Yeah.
that's she's no shooting.
She has the
Yeah, the whole, but these guys don't have stealth, but they're like quite a ways away. They're probably 19, 20 inches away.
Yeah. Another
So
thought you could
that's
do
a
is
toughie.
Forfeit movement action and aim, and it gives you +2 to rat, I think.
Yeah, but
with him.
I'm not, it's only 10-inch range, so. Now you can still shoot it. You can still shoot and hope it like scatters onto somebody, but it's a long shot. Yeah, that's right. You can just
And
put
he
it
also
on a
has
blank piece
apparition.
of ground.
Yeah,
So you can get 2 inches.
2 inches too.
Right, and
only thing-
that's the weird thing. It's
Really
kind
what
of
it
it's
comes
kind of
down
like
to-
chess.
What really it comes down to
Because-
is if these guys want to gang up on that.
Uh-huh.
They're not going to gang up on him.
Yeah,
Because
that's
they
a good
can't,
question.
they can't beat
Wouldn't
him
do
up,
anything.
and they can't beat him up. I don't know what this guy
Yeah,
does.
for all you know, as war beasts and warjacks go, Orboros do have the lightest things. Like my armor's only 17,
Oh, okay.
and I've only got like 28 hit points, 26 hit points, something like that.
You're familiar with all the
Like
shield
they're for heavies, they're on the lightest
shield
end.
generation with these
Yeah,
guys?
oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's been no damage done so far. We're just
What I was
dancing the
thinking-
dance,
what I was thinking
dancing the
is this guy
dance.
would,
They're moving.
Like, run at him.
The beasts are moving at the edge of the forest, just out of sight.
So you have 9 inches
Ah, I
of
love
charge.
Orboros. Fantastic. They're the army that makes you go. By the way, Dean's skulking around the edge. He's like, I gotta stay off camera. I gotta stay off camera.
You can boost it again. Give
Right?
more dice rolling.
He's like,
But then, on top of that, before he...
all right, well, these two are kibitzing, so we'll wait for